After we get a 5% rally in the stock market, we typically see a decline in the following week, which is why I believe we'll likely see a decline this week. There are some other factors that are at play, but just to be abundantly clear, on average, since the 90s, when we have a 5% gain in the stock market, we see the next week be red. That's a study that I did myself. I'll share some findings a little bit later in the video, but let me go over first off why I think the stock market is likely to have a decline over this next week. So, interest rates really have seen a massive drop over the past couple trading days. So, to give it a number, we topped out on the 23rd, or let's go from the 26th. So from the 26th, we topped out at around 4961, and we traded down 7% for interest rates. Right now, we're about 6% lower on interest rates in just 7 trading days. I think that move was a little quick, and I really see it as very likely that we'll see somewhat of a retrace for interest rates. I think interest rates likely come back up over the coming trading days, and a big part of that is we bounced right where we bounced on October 12th, was actually right almost where we had bottomed in Friday's trading session. And we're obviously moving higher today in terms of interest rates. Interest rates are up over 2% today. So we also are bouncing off this 50-day moving average. So that is likely contributing to the move higher in interest rates. So I believe interest rates likely continue higher this week, which would act as a negative for the broader market. So that's kind of reason one as to why I think markets are likely to fall this week. And then secondly, we don't have much economic data to really save us. So in the past couple weeks, we've seen moves higher in the stock market off of economic data. We're not going to see that this week, as the average weekly return after we get a 5% or more gain is negative. So on average, when the stock market is up 5%, we will see a negative return the following week. So the last time the market was up 5% was in 2022. We saw a negative 0.2 return for the next week. And then the time before that, in May of 2022, we had a 5% gain. Next week, we saw roughly down 1%. And then the time before that, in 2020, we saw a 6% gain, then a minus 2% gain over the next week. So recency bias is implying we should see a move lower. And then if we kind of look at it from a broad perspective, since 1993, we've seen 31 instances of the stock market going up 5%. And now, so 31 instances of the stock market going up 5%. The next week, on average, though, in those 31 instances, is negative, is roughly down 0.1%. So I know that's not much, but at the end of the day, it still is implying that the tendency, the bias here is to the downside based on historical data. So that's kind of what I'm seeing there. Also, it's worth noting, though, that the return over the next 4 weeks after seeing a 5% gain since 1993 has been about 1.5% gain. So looking a month out, this drastic move up we've seen in the market typically does imply more bullishness. But in the short term for this week, I think it's very likely that we see the stock market fall off a cliff. Probably not, but I definitely do predict that we definitely see a move lower from the market this upcoming week. And if we take a look at the chart here, so let's take a look at the technicals of the stock market and give a price prediction. So we've came up to test this $436 level twice, roughly, in the past 2 trading days. We've moved lower off of this level, and this level is where the SPY had topped out for 6 trading days in a row in October. So this is where we have topped out in the past. I believe we top out here again and use this level as resistance. And I think we could see a pretty significant move lower, likely down to at least the 200-day moving average at 243. There is a world where we could see, just a slight move down to 430. That is possible, but my gut tells me we see a little bit of a larger move down to 420, or excuse me, 424. So don't think the market's going to go to zero or anything. Not saying that. Not saying the stock market's going to go down 10% in a week or anything like that. But history implies that the stock market is likely going to move lower next week, thinking that that definitely plays out. So pretty bearish on the market this upcoming week. And one sector I really do like for some puts this week is the XLF. So the XLF is coming up to test resistance at around 34 bucks, which is where shares had topped out in each of the past 2 trading days. It's also where the index had topped out in October on the 17th. This has been a past level in which we've seen some consolidation in the past, where the index roughly topped out in June. It's where the index, has seen some consolidation in the past as well. Therefore, I believe we see this level act as resistance, and we get somewhat of a rejection over the coming trading days. Also, it's worth noting that the 50-day moving average crossed below the 200-day moving average on October 20th, which is known as a death cross. Kind of sounds like what it is. It's just basically a signal of bearish momentum. So we have a bearish momentum signal. We're coming up to test a major level of resistance at around $34. Therefore, I believe we see the XLF start to underperform the broader market and move lower over the coming trading days. And we're actually underperforming the market pretty drastically here. So the XLF is down about 0.7%. We see the stock market down about 0.2. So overall, I think the XLF is an underperforming sector for this week. I think the broader market moves lower. And, we've been in some XLF calls today, actually puts today, turning out pretty well. Actually cut some for some gains this morning. So if you're interested in kind of the day-to-day trades of the market, some buys, some sells on the market, calls, puts, you can join the Discord, which is linked below. We have a free 7-day trial going on right now. Also, if you appreciated this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Helps out the channel a bunch. I'll see you here next time.
Looking to learn more about the financial markets? Well, I just released a new course that will teach you everything you need to know about the stock and option markets. You can find that at happyinvestingtoday.com. Also on the site, you can purchase one-on-one coaching sessions where I will break down your portfolio to help optimize your assets to meet your personal financial goals. Additionally, to better assist traders when searching for setups, I'm selling trading bots which will give you buy and sell signals and tell you how your trading strategy has performed historically on any stock or cryptocurrency that you're researching. Finally, if you would also like to see what me and my experienced trading team are doing on a day-to-day basis, join our Discord, which is linked below, for a free 7-day trial. With that being said, please leave a like and subscribe. Appreciate you watching this video.